This is the tutorial video for Google Docs. So I'm on my Google homepage, going to go to the waffle and open a doc. You can also open a new doc from Drive, or you can type in docs.new in your Omnibox and a brand new doc will open up. So I'm not going to go through a lot of the basics. I'm just going to go through some more advanced things that you may or may not know about using Google Docs. So first of all, we always title our doc so that we have a title saved and we can find it in our Google Drive. So within our doc, there are several things that have changed recently. One of the things that I want to point out that is right here off the bat is using that @smart chip to be able to put things in your doc. So if you do shift and do @ there are multiple things that you can do within this doc that make life so much easier. First thing I can do is I can link people. So if I'm working on something collaboratively with Nick, I can link him and assign him something or make a comment, and he will get an email notification that I have mentioned him in the doc. So that would be a great way to help students collaborate within a group and assign group roles and things like that. I also can do things like meeting notes and do an email draft. I can embed files within here. I can do this to start a checklist, and I can also insert media options like emojis or drawings that I've made, dates, quick thing to do, titles and headings that's also located right here, calendar events, and then other components. There's just a huge variety of options that you have with that smart chip. The biggest things that I would use the smart chip for would be to tag people in there to comment, to add files, and to do your meetings. So I have calendar events. I'm just going to look right there. This is an event that I have. So I can embed that in that doc, and I can be able to click on this and open that file. If I am working with a teacher, I can put her name right there, and it will mention them. And then I can also insert files. You can search within your docs right there and embed files. So this is kind of like a hyperlink. It's just using it a new way. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just delete all those because I don't want it to send anything to anyone. So speaking of hyperlinks, making what we call a hyperdoc is one of our new trends where we can give students a doc and embed links in it for them to be able to access outside information resources, basically. So I'm going to just do a little bit bigger font right here. So if I want to hyperlink to my something, I'm going to get a link over here from my other screen. This is going to our agenda for Bootcamp. Typically, the way I do it is I type my text, highlight my text, use the little chain link icon right here, and I can link in right here. I can also find other things right there and apply. Now, one thing that in Google that does automatically is that this is going to open in a new window, which is very beneficial for your users and your students, so that it keeps them on the screen with the doc, and then it opens their activities that they're clicking on in a new window. What I do recommend doing if you're going to build a hyperdoc with links for your students, if you come over here to File, I would download that as a PDF, simply because if you do a PDF, it will keep your links active whenever you're using it through Google Classroom, assigning it through Google Classroom or email or whatever, but they also can't change anything on your doc. So that's just kind of an extra little tip in there. If you're building something with links in it, I would download it as a PDF and then re-upload it into whatever LMS you're using, so that your formatting and your content does not get accidentally erased. So that is adding links. Comment features. So similar to using that @ sign, we can also just open up a comment. So typically they want you to highlight some part of the text. So right here, I'm going to do a comment, add a comment. I can tag people in it with the @ sign, or I can put in like the course number and the section number, which I don't know off the top of my head. I can add those right there on that comment. This is an excellent way for you as a teacher to be able to give feedback to your students. And speaking of the comment feature, when we go up here to share, we have the option to give people sharing access as a viewer where they can only view the document, a commenter where they can comment on the document, or editor where they can go in and change anything and do anything. As a teacher, I would really teach my students to share things with me in the commenter role, because I don't necessarily want to go in and fix the things on their doc for them, but I would love to be able to give them feedback directly on the doc. So if I do that as a commenter, I can still leave them comments without changing anything on their document, and then they can go back and fix things in their editing roles. So that is a really great way to be able to give instant feedback directly on the doc that your students are using. With that share button, here's how we can share something directly through email. You can also give access where it's restricted, where only people who have the link can open, people within our domain, which is Chilton BOE, or be completely open. Anyone with the link can open that. So a lot of times things that I may publish, especially to our website or something like that, I go ahead and do anyone with links, so that if anybody is using a personal email account or something like that to open it, they have the ability to be able to open that. Okay, while we're up here, a new tool that has been added recently is be able to launch a meet within this Google Doc. So you can start a new meeting. It opens everything up in a sidebar. I'm going to scoot that over so that if you want to do a Google Meet with someone and work collaboratively, they can be face to face on camera right here and be working in the doc within the same screen. So this is an excellent collaboration feature that has been recently added. You can send people the link to add, and then you have your basic tools down here at the bottom, like mute, take your camera off, things like that. And then of course the hang up feature. This is also available in sheets and slides. So doc, sheets, and slides are the three things that's available in. Last but not least, if we are working on something and we have multiple people working on it, being able to look at a version history is looking at basically the history of it being created. So I don't have a very long version history for today, but if we accidentally erase something, version history is kind of like your recover place. It's also a really good way if you have multiple people working on a doc or a project, you can go in and check out and see who has done what.